How's it going? Welcome back to another workshop in No Man's Skies today, and we're going to be jumping into a brand new game. I kind of want to show off what I do when I first start off on Planet Side. So let's start off directly, straight from the actual beginning of the game. I'm going to do new game, and I've been doing custom. There is obviously quite a few different things you can do here. You also get the expedition, which is only got 10 days left. I might check that out eventually because there's some cool rewards you can get. But what we're going to do in this one is going to be custom. How I've been starting off is I've actually been going through and changing some items left and right here. Nothing too crazy. So my first ones that I changed is survival elements. I changed to hazardous and health. Just a little easier to deal with. I also changed the death consequence. I do no item loss because I don't want to have to go and find my stuff if I die. Again, this is all totally up to you what you want to do. This is what I've been doing. I've been keeping these items here with the crafting and item settings, keep it the same, down to enemy strength, combat on foot and in space. I do hostile. This run that I'm going to be doing is actually going to be more of a pirate run, because I actually been playing with my buddy on a pirate run and it's been super fun. So I want to do one of my own that I can kind of use as a way to show off what to do when you're playing No Man's Skies. Another thing I do as well is the tutorial missions. If you've already played through this game at least once or twice, you probably don't want to deal with a tutorial. So what you can do is you can disable that from here. I never knew this was a thing, and that's super nice because it can be a little, it's still fun, but it can be frustrating when you want to get right in the game and start doing all the stuff you want to do. So it's kind of nice to have this not be an issue because you still have the ability to go in and try and loot up and stuff like that. So those are my settings. We're going to go over it real quick. Survival elements, I do hazardous health. Death consequence, I do no item loss. Enemy strength, I keep it standard. And then on foot combat and space combat, I do hostile. Tutorial mission, I disable. And that is it. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to confirm start game. All right, so we are on the planet now. But if you want to find out what planet you're on and what's going on here, you want to hit your escape, or I don't know what it is on controller, but you want to go to the main menu here where you can do options, log, and catalog. You want to go to discovery, and you can look at what is here. So we have unstable atmosphere, so definitely not safe. Require obedience. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming sentinels are very hostile here. That's what I have to assume. Ample flora is actually a good thing. Looks like we have some pretty nice items here: silver, uranium, and copper. So that's all good stuff there. And moderate fauna, which is good. We also are in a economy industrial. Unpromising, so that's not great. We're also at an area that's at war, so that's also not great either. And right now, the dominant life form here is Gek. So that's how you can look at that. And our main plan here is we're gonna get to our ship, and then we'll discuss what resources you need. Let's head on over. Our ship is about 490 away. Not too bad. One thing I also want to mention, if you are trying to get somewhere quickly, if you use melee and jump at the same time, you kind of boost yourself. Definitely a helpful tip there. Now I do see there's a bunch of stuff around me, but I want to get to my ship first. And then I can save the game, which will be a lot more better. I will say this biome looks freaking incredible though. Even though it's kind of barren, it looks really cool with like the fauna back there with like the lowy bits. Alright, so we made it to our ship. I'm going to hop in here and hop out. This is going to create a save point. So now we're good. If anything happens, we are good to go. Now, my first thing that I want to do is we're going to talk about what resources to grab right away. Oxygen, you want sodium, you want carbon, and you want dihydrogen. Oxygen is going to be these red plants here in front of us. As you can see here, you also get oxygen from any of the hostile fauna, which we saw a couple as we were walking over here. I don't think there's any nearby. Let's do a quick scan here. So this is going to be, these plants are going to be really important. They're going to give you quite a bit of oxygen, which is great that we have 4 of them here. That's awesome. That's going to be a good jump start for us. You also want to look for the hostile fauna, which if over here, these are what we call hostile fauna, or hazardous. If you mine these, they'll actually be oxygen as well. And the next thing you want to do is you want to look for sodium, which we actually just passed over here. If you see yellow plants that are glowing like this, which is also next to oxygen, which is great. These are going to be a great way to get sodium right away. You also can use your F on keyboard to look for other items here. Another thing you do as well, if you hit C, you'll do a full scan, and it will show you, you got sodium-rich plant, oxygen, sodium. So we're going to go around and grab some sodium real quick. There's not a lot really close. That one's really close. Another quick scan here. Plenty of sodium over here. If you see these items here, these are pedestals that will actually, if you interact with them, they'll give you a free word. And since we're in a Gek ruled area right now, you're going to get Gek words. The Gek floats in my vision. Gek. So I just learned Gek. Which is fine. That's good. So let's grab these other two pieces here. There it is. Okay, cool. Let's head down here. We'll grab these here. There's a lot of oxygen here. Oh. Let's just go. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Radiation protection falling.
Okay. Now we got a decent amount of sodium. I'm going to get more anyways. We have a decent amount of oxygen. The next thing we're going to get is carbon, which is great that these items are here. This is the crystal form of carbon. Carbon can also be from plants, as you can see here. Trees will also be another combo for that as well. If you find crystals, the crystals give you a lot more. The other thing to mention too, when you're using your mining laser, the longer you hold it, the more damage you do. So if you see in the upper right hand corner here, where it says 36%, it'll continue to go up, and that's going to actually increase the... It's going to get really hot. And as you get hotter, it'll actually do more damage, which is great if you're trying to collect a lot of stuff in the same area. It is kind of hard to flex out a little bit, but it works pretty well. Okay, so now we got a decent amount of carbon already. Again, we're going to get more, because it's going to be very important. The next thing you want to do is you want to look for ferrite dust. Ferrite dust is going to be extremely important. It's going to be how you make a bunch of different things. So one thing I will say, if you're going to be mining rocks and stuff like that, I would scan them first. So what you're going to want to use is F, and you want to hold your trigger and scan these items. This will give you credits right off the bat. And once you do that, you'll actually be able to see what else this can give. So this one here, it has Analyze. I don't know what it is. Before we do that, we're going to actually use our sodium, and we're going to recharge our hazardous protection. So as you see here, it says ferrite dust, and then it says question mark, analyze, question mark. So what you want to do is scan that, and that what will happen, it'll tell you, okay, cool, you can get the hydrogen from this as well. Obviously, the top one's going to be the one you mainly get. The bottom one's going to be one you might get here and there. So let's mine this out. I'm going to go through and get a bunch of this stuff. Again, I'm trying to really heater on that overheating, so I can take out these items a lot quicker. There we go. So I have to actually recharge my gun now. This is where carbon comes in play. You want to make sure you have this so you can recharge your mining beam. Let's have salt here, which is great. Or sodium. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna try and get a bunch of this. Oh, I gotta scan this. So now I get oxygen and carbon. So certain items or plants or whatever will actually give you oxygen and carbon, which is super nice. We'll take a quick peek at our inventory. So we got 152 oxygen, 136 carbon, 48 condensed carbon. We had 34 sodium, so we're going to want to get more of that. We have ferrite dust 255 and dihydrogen 25. So we're going to look for a crystal patch of dihydrogen. Quick scan here, that'll give us exactly... Okay, there we go. Nice. So this is what you're going to see. This is going to be the best way to get dihydrogen. If you look at the crystals, there is bigger crystals as well, but we don't have those here right now. Definitely mine this out as much as possible. This is the one cool thing about this game. Just mining away or doing whatever, and you'll just have frigates just flying over you. Like that, I think it's a combat one. Those are both combat, I'm pretty sure. Which is pretty cool. That's something you get later on in the game. Okay, we're gonna grab some of this stuff down here as well. Another thing to mention too, when you find these damaged containers, you'll usually find like slime or rusted metal. Definitely grab that. Rusted metal can be refined and made into ferrite dust. So it's pretty nice if you don't want to keep mining a bunch. That's super helpful. Grab these as well. Got some more sodium, that's good. So what do I'm gonna quickly grab a bunch more sodium, and then we'll head back to the ship, and I'm gonna explain some more things that you want to look for when you're first starting off. So another thing I want to make note of too, when you see these giant crystals, you're going to need an advanced mining laser, which you get later on. It's pretty easy to get. So you can't mine these quite yet when you first start off, but definitely keep these in mind. Just look out for them as much as possible. Also, damaged equipment is going to be very important. Like we talked about before when we saw the damaged container. When you go to these damaged machinery, you want to take this living slime. It's actually really important for later on. Living slime can actually be used, if you refine it, it'll actually give you runaway mold, which then can be converted into nanites, which is actually one of the currencies you want to make sure you keep increasing. Back in the search for sodium. Alright, so I think I got enough sodium for now. We also got some extra stuff as well. We have 188, lots of oxygen, 353 oxygen. Definitely could use some more carbon. We have a decent amount though. We also have salt, which I'm curious, I might be able to make sodium with this, but I'm not sure. We're going to test that out. I do need more ferrite dust, and I have a decent amount of hydrogen. We also can do this. These crystal fragments, you can just analyze them and get free stuff, or you can sell them for money. I'm going to analyze them because I need stuff, so we have a decent amount of dihydrogen, which is great. We're going to head back to the ship, and I want to show another thing off here. So when you're playing this game, you're going to be required to use a portable refiner, and you're going to need items to actually produce that. So what you want to do is go into your inventory. It could be your starship if you're close to it, or your exosuit. You want to click on these boxes here and scroll down. It'll give you what you can make. So we're going to make metal plating, and this is where ferrite dust comes in handy really well. Ferrite dust is kind of like your building material in general, so you want to make sure you have that. So now what I can do is I can press Z and pull my portable refiner, and this will allow me to, I put this in with some carbon, and this is where I can do stuff like this. Like I was talking about, living slime gets you runaway mold, which is going to be very important later on. I'm going to wait on that. What I want to see, if I put salt in here, we get concentrated salt. I want to test something here. I do this, can I get sodium from this? Probably not. Okay, so it just brings that to salt. Okay. That's unfortunate. So I definitely need to work on getting more sodium. I have a decent amount, but I definitely want more. So we'll probably continue looking for that as we're going. But I do want to keep this flowing pretty nicely. Another thing to note too, when you see items like this, definitely talk to it. It's going to be part of your quest when you first start off. Broadcast. This is kind of like how you start the campaign mission in a sense. I'm also going to run over here and check out this. Okay. Oh, so we just... Okay, that's actually really cool. Got really lucky there. Yeah, let's grab this rusted metal. More sodium. Okay. This is the nice thing about these damaged machinery, is it'll give you random stuff. So, for instance, we just got a... Which is pretty cool. A S-class upgrade for our exosuit. So I can actually put this down here. And that will actually give me... Actually, I'm going to move it over here so I have space. This is another thing with this game. There's a lot of upgrades you can do to your suit. This is one of them where I'm pretty sure it allows me to... In No Man's Skies, you can find planets that are water planets, and you can actually swim down, and they generally have some really good resources, and it's pretty cool. You also can make a base underwater, too, which I kind of want to do, because that'd be kind of sweet. But it's a cool thing. You can get upgrades, so you can actually continuously do that without having to run out of oxygen. Just like any other game, when you're swimming, there's going to be a bar that will slowly go down as you're running out of air. This allows you to keep that flowing nicely. So that's a very good thing to find right off the bat. So my next thing that I want to do when I've gotten through, I definitely want to get more sodium, carbon probably too. I want to get more of everything. I want to stockpile these items, which is going to be sodium, oxygen, carbon, condensed carbon, ferrite dust, dihydrogen. All this stuff I want to try and continuously grab as much as possible. And the reason for that is you're going to need it as we continue onwards here. Let's hop in the ship and hop out. I'm going to just do a quick save. Go. So one thing I like to do when I first start off is I want to look for abandoned buildings. The good thing about those buildings is they're going to have random items in there. You can find nanite dispensers. It's going to be super helpful. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to hop out of here. I'm going to pull out my scanner again, and I'm going to see if there's any buildings nearby. And actually, this is kind of cool. It just became dark. This is really neat. This game does have, obviously, changing environments. Weather changes, daytime and nighttime cycles. It's pretty cool. So what I like to do when I'm first starting off, once I have enough supplies that I feel pretty happy about, I want to use my scanner, and I want to look for emblems that are a... Oh, that might be actually good to go check out. I want to look for abandoned buildings, which doesn't think there's any near us. It's unfortunate, but that's totally okay. Another thing while we're in this screen here, there is 3 zooms that you can do. And this is kind of nice. If I see, for instance, I could scan this guy here. And this will give you credits. This is a great way if you want to just adventure around and scan a bunch of aliens, you can do that. And you'll make money off it. And there is going to be mods you can get for your suit that will actually give you an insane amount of money. One of my runs, I got one that I pretty much got like 500% more money for scanning things. So I kept scanning everything across the map. It was awesome. Like I was saying before too, it's so cool when you're in the world, you hear planes go over or starships go over. It's just really, it keeps it like you're really there. It's awesome. All right, so we're back at the ship now. One thing I do recommend, and obviously it's completely to your preference, but I like to use third person when I'm flying a lot. It allows me to see everything, but I do really enjoy first person if I'm like in a dogfight or if I'm like targeting ground units. But that's my own preference here. So we're gonna fly around. And actually, this is a great example. I can go down here, and there's a lot of sodium right in this area. I still want to max out, like not max out, but I want to get a lot of resources. It's going to be way easier as you're carrying on. Let's scan real quick. My hard drive ran out of space. It just shut my thing off. So we just got a bunch of sodium. There's some right here, actually. Looks like it respawned. That's the other thing, too. Items will respawn in this, which is super helpful. So if you're in an area with a lot of sodium, you can probably get it back. There's some dihydrogen and oxygen over here. So let's grab the oxygen. Scan. It's a sodium there. So next up, I want to try and find an abandoned building. I'm going to do a quick scan here to see if we're close to anything. I don't think we are, but that's okay. Nothing at all. So what we're going to do is hop back in the ship. And I'm just going to keep flying around, and I'm going to try and go a little further away. Good. So another thing I want to make note too is when you're flying around, if you press C in the ship, it'll actually show you what's around. So for instance, below us, this is actually huge. We have 2 little houses there. We also have a massive trading post right there, which is massive. We want that. It's going to be very important for what I do when I'm first starting off in Eminent, guys. So these buildings are very important. And actually, if you look up there... Oh my, that's actually... Okay. Well, let's get inside first. So, when you need a building, you're safe from the environment, nothing to worry about it. The little red things we saw on that hill there are actually very, very important. This actually makes this a lot easier for us. So, when you first see these little houses like this, you can come in here and check them all out. What you will sometimes find is on the wall here, you have... I'm going to call them dispensers. They're definitely not that. They're like almost consoles for like a, computer screen or something like that. Sometimes they will have nanites. And sometimes on this ledge back here, you'll see a little disk kind of. And it's called encrypted data, I believe. That's very important. You want to find those. It's going to give you navigational data, which is going to be very important for later on. So let's go check the other one and see what we got. Okay, perfect. So... we don't see what I was looking for before, but that's okay. You got store shields. This is great if you're actually hurt and you want to get some heals. You also have extract nanites. I'm going to call this a nanite extractor or a nanite dispenser. If you collect these, you'll get given a bunch of nanites for free. This is really good. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to actually go on first person here. If you see stuff like this, encrypted navigation data, grab it. This is very important. So what's going to happen, you get nanites from it, and then also, if you look in your... Okay, well, I didn't get one at that time. That's weird. But you want to look for stuff like that. That stuff can give you nanites, and then it'll also give you a navigational data, which you can use it later on, and we'll explain that in a moment. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head up to those little structures that we saw before. Those right there are extremely important. If you see these, go straight to them and grab everything. It's gonna be really good. You don't require any tools for this. You just go over here. This is perfect. Oh my god, this is amazing. You want to grab all these. These are... Oh, more? Oh, what? Hello, friend. That's cool. These are very, very important. We just got 9, and I just want to get 6, and we have plenty now. So these are going to be very important when we go up to the space station, which will be the next episode. Because this one's kind of long already, but I wanted to show off. When you're in those small buildings like that, you'll find these on tables, on shelves, stuff like that. You want to grab them. They're going to be very, very important. If you get lucky like we did here, and you find a bunch of fancy technology like that, you definitely want to grab it too. Is that? Oh, okay. Wow, this is actually really good. Wow, we are getting extremely lucky right now. That's awesome. We're going to grab all the sodium. It's going to be perfect for us. Sometimes you have these patches of sodium that are going to be just rare, which is awesome. Just grab it all. Alright. So that is perfect. We just got exactly what we needed. My main goal was to get 6 of them, and we don't have to do that now. We have 9, which is perfect. We're going to head over to that small little trading post. Well, actually, it's kind of big. These are going to be really good for you early on. Fly over here. So this is great. These are very important. They do shield you from the weather, so that's very nice. You also can go to the trade post here, and you can sell whatever you got. So, for instance, we had some chloride, I believe, which we can sell. A decent amount. Right on, we can sell that. This is going to be great if you need stuff. So, for instance, I don't really see anything too crazy. Actually, I might as well buy the ferrite dust. I need that. I should don't have that much money. Copper, we can get that too. Metal plating, I'll buy 2. Okay. One thing I'm going to do real quick, and I think I can do this anyway, so yeah, perfect. I'm going to actually put my salt in here. And let that go. Oh, that's a really cool ship. Wow, that's awesome. I'm also going to talk to everybody here, because they can give you information and free stuff. You also want to look around the trade posts, because they could have the data things on the ground as well. There's not like there's any here right now. Let's talk to this guy. Guy. Nice. Cool. Awesome. Grab this too. Sell that chlorine. 100K right there. So we're doing pretty good. We got 90 right now. We're gonna hop back in our ship. There's a couple more things I want to look for. One thing I will say, if you do run into it, definitely take it out. If you see a resource depot, which has sentinels around it, destroy it immediately, because that's going to give you some great loot right off the bat, and it's going to sell for quite a bit of money. We haven't found one yet, which is totally fine. Not a big deal. But you also want to find trade posts like this. This is very important too, because you can sell stuff from right away. You also can do more things. You also can gain some more knowledge from the actual people in the area, which is really good. So we're going to hop back in the ship. I'm actually going to save again. And I think what we're going to do... So I think I want to continue looking for other buildings. This is perfect. Alright, so we're about to land at a small trade post, which is actually really good too. We want to do that. We'll land right here. This is very good for us. If you find these, definitely go to them. This is actually going to be considered a like small trading area. If you run in here, there's going to be 2 people in there. And sometimes you can find navigational data. Yep, right there, encrypted. Navigational code. Grab that. Get some more stuff. Search this as well. Now here you actually have weapons on the wall, and I'm going to talk to this guy here. So this is a very important thing too. When you walk into these trade places, like these small ones, you want to talk to these guys because it's very important. So the life form pecks empathetically at monetary figures on their pad, then bounces up and down. A relaxing perfume fills the air, a relief after a menacing radioactive air of planet's surface. I think I'm going to give him 100 units. So he's very happy now, so that's good. And he's giving me technology. Sweet. That's another thing too, you can get free stuff from people, which is awesome. He just gave me a free ship upgrade. So I'm going to install that on our ship. So now I have 9+ shield, which is great. Another thing to note too, when you're working with stuff like this, you want to keep these items next to each other because it'll actually increase what you get. So definitely keep that in mind. I also want to check this wall here. You can find these guns on the wall randomly, and sometimes if they're cheap enough, you can exchange them. So I could exchange this for 86,000, but that's all my money. And frankly, I'm not willing to do that right now, so we'll leave that alone. What I do want to do is I want to check this first. Nothing too crazy. And if you go over to this guy, he's going to be very important. These are technological merchants, so you can buy components and blueprints. So I'm going to buy a advanced mining laser for 75 nanites. That's going to be very important. And then I'm also going to talk to him again. I'm going to purchase components because I'm going to need some wire loom, which is expensive. Establish data. You sometimes can find that they sell navigational data, which is super important too. Let's see, do we have anything we could sell for a decent amount of money? We could sell that. And that. Not much else I can sell on my starship. No. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna buy one of these. Wow, do I need 2 actually? I might need 2. Let's see. I want to equip this, so I need hermetic seal, carbon nanotubes, and I need 2 wire looms, which is, oof, that's rough. Okay, that is all good. Components. Might buy 2. No, I cannot. Who has 1? Okay, I'm gonna buy one of those. Those. I think. We'll deal with that for now. So now I'm going to actually equip this there. I can't quite do that yet, but what I can do is get my exosuit, make a nano tube. Now I just need 1 more of those, which I'm going to have to wait to get because I don't have But these are very, very good, especially for early on, because you can get a bunch in this really, really quickly. Let me grab some of this stuff here. Back in these buildings here. These tables could have navigational data, so you have to keep that in mind. There's nothing in here I can use except this plant. That alone. Let's see. Anything in here? Yes, nanites. Nothing else though. Oh wait, hold on. Navigational data, perfect. We have 11 now, that's awesome. Might as well grab this one too. Yeah, it's more nanites. Perfect. Alright, so this is the perfect time. We got some extra stuff. We got
Radiation protection.
our advanced mining laser coming soon. We also have a ton of navigational data, which is perfect. We got some decent amount of material. We definitely probably could use more, but I think we'll be okay for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually head up to the space station, but that's going to be next episode because this is already going really long. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. Like I said before, you definitely want to get sodium, carbon, dihydrogen, oxygen. Try and stack up on that stuff when you first start off. Also, when you first start off, get to your ship as quickly as possible because you can have a save point. So if anything happens, you can revert back to your save without a problem. Definitely scan the creatures around you and the plants. It'll help you gain more information on what you can get from it. And always look for these small trading posts or the big trading posts like we were at. Those will be extremely helpful. And always check for these small little buildings here that give you navigational data, because that's going to be a very big part for our next episode. So, hope this is helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.